Describe a time that my work was affected by creator's block. Nowadays writer's block doesn't come too often. Just more so because of the type of work that I do. But as far as a time, I remember very early on as an artist when I first was getting into custom artwork, airbrushing and automotive style artwork and muraling. It was very hard to picture what I wanted to do or to come up with something that hadn't already been done. And I think a lot of the ways that I was able to overcome that was either A, recreating something that another artist already did but in my own way, and then churning that over and over and over again. So recreating the same piece over and over again. Or following, nowadays, this is the age of social media. So there's a lot of influences out there. So what I didn't have 13, 14, 15 years ago when I was first starting out, social media was just starting to get popular then. So a lot of people weren't really posting too many things. But here in New York City, there's a million museums and a ton of art galleries. So for me, that was always my thing. I enjoyed frequently going to art galleries and museums to just see what everybody else was doing, what other style of artwork was out there. And that helped my mind to look at other artists' stuff and say, okay, I would do this.
I didn't realize that was on.
Is that still running?
No, you're good.
So I would go to these art museums or galleries, and I'd look at other artists' work and say, okay, I would recreate that in this way, or instead of painting it this style, I would do it this style, or instead of using this color, I would do that color. And then eventually it got to the point where I was able to, by doing that, take all of these ideas and just create my own personal pieces. So I think that was kind of how I was able to overcome it early on in my career.
I know your work is a little bit different. You said that before, because I know it's a little bit more collaborative. You're going based off of what you see or what you're getting from your customer, and they're coming to you to help them bring that to life on either a bike, a car, whatever it is that they're looking for. So would you say you have a little bit more of an advantage because you're not doing it all on your own? It's more of a collaborative effort with you, yourself, and your client?
Not necessarily, because a lot of times clients don't even know what they want. Often I encounter a lot of things with customers where it's like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. And then by the time we go from this is what I'm thinking to the actual finished piece, it's usually either a complete 360 to what they wanted or my version of what they wanted. I've been able to build my career as an airbrush artist, custom motorcycle painter, based on my style. So a lot of my customers, when they come to me already specific for my style of artwork. So yes, it is a collaborative effort between me and the customer, because it's their vision and me recreating their vision, but it's also me recreating their vision in my style. So then it's basically, you can say it's how I see their vision, if that makes sense. So it's their story seen through my eyes, if that makes sense. So a lot of times the process would be, okay, hey, I want a graveyard scene. And then I usually say, okay, well, the graveyard scene has been done a million times. How about we do a graveyard scene like this? or we do a graveyard scene, you know, with I don't know, instead of skeletons sticking their hands out, maybe we'll do more of a zombie look, or instead of the zombie look, maybe we'll do more of a scary kind of Stephen King undead person walking down in, you know, or like a foggy background with broken graves and some scary looking trees and a bright moon or something like that with some bats, and then do like off in the corner you know, like a Grim Reaper kind of looking thing, something to kind of take it from just an average photo to take it a little more to a something you would see in a movie scene, or something that would, you know, scare a kid, so to speak. You know, something. The collaborative effort between a customer and I usually begins with their idea and ends with my vision of their idea.
From one creator to another, do you have any more tips that you can give me on hopefully getting over creator's block myself?
I would say my advice to a creator like you or any other creator out there is to create. As oddly as that may sound, the only way for you to really be inspired is to just create. One of my, I wouldn't necessarily say favorite artists, but one of my, one of the artists that I follow, so it's hard to explain. Okay, so one of the artists that I follow, he's a tattoo artist. His name is Carlos Torres. Very well known for his black and gray tattoos, but also very known for the fantasy, whimsical kind of style. In watching an interview with him one day, basically he was talking about kind of some of the similar thing, where he at a point in his career he had hit a point where he created all of the drawings that he's done prior to him becoming a tattoo artist. So he had gotten to a point where it's like, okay, what do I create? Because his clients would come to him based on illustrations he's already done. And I think the best advice he ever gave was to just keep creating. So the only way for him to continue to create tattoos was to create more drawings. So I kind of do the same thing. The only way I can really keep going is to just keep creating. I'm fortunate enough that I have customers that come through the door on a regular basis for custom work all the time. So it allows me to keep creating. But when there are dead times in my season, I usually try to sit down and either draw, whether it's pencil and paper or digitally on my Wacom Cintiq with Photoshop or Illustrator, and I just keep creating. I've always got ideas running through my head, and some of them are ideas that I've seen already or seen other artists do, and I just take it and add it to my twist, or add my twist to it. But it's literally, as in my opinion, as simple as that. Just keep creating. When you get stuck, just keep creating. If you're a photographer and you don't know what your next batch of photos are going to be, just pick up a camera and shoot. Whether it's a stack of garbage cans, whether it's buildings, it's pigeons, it just pick up the camera and shoot. If you're an airbrush artist, just paint something. If you're a traditional painter, just paint something. Even if it's something you've already done, do it again, change it, you know, see what that painting looked like 4 years ago versus now, you know, your skill level, what's changed. Again, this is the age of social media, so there's tons of influences out there. Don't get stuck surfing social media because you could be spending that time creating, but you know, when you have those down moments and you don't know what the hell to do, social media is a great place to find some sort of an inspiration. Go for a walk in a park, go to a zoo, go to a museum, art gallery, visit another artist's studio, talk to another artist. Even go to like silly places like Target. You know, Target nowadays is becoming a little more of a fancier place. Go to any art store and just kind of walk around and just, you know, just get that vibe, you know. Just create. Like it in my opinion, it's literally as simple as that. Just create.